Thursday night. It's Thursday night. We're going to give everybody a chance to start coming in because tonight, it's so many people who say they're about this thing, interested about this thing. They get to the money. They know about money. They make money, but they don't know how to keep money. They don't know how to keep generational wealth. They don't know how to invest. They don't know how to move forward financially. They believe that everything will work itself out once I get some money. They think people will like me. Oh, I'm going to show them once I get some money. Oh, revenge. Success is the greatest revenge. They think money this, money that, and God forbid, if you're the type of person who's obsessed and not thinking about money, but thinking about your debt, thinking about your bills, thinking about how much you owe other people all day long, waiting on a miracle, or if you like how I used to be, when the Powerball jackpot is now $1.2 billion. You go get the ticket, you start journaling about, I have already won. You doing the positive manifestations. You have watched the videos. You going to sleep with the frequency vibrations of money. You subscribe to pulpits that call themselves prosperity preaching, and you're reading the same Psalms, and even worse, the greatest atrocity is asking, ye shall receive. You on your knees, Lord God, I'm begging you to provide this for me so you can go get Balenciaga and Gucci and a bunch of people name on your clothes that don't respect your dollar or your culture or you. People want money. They want to spend money on nice things to impress bad people who don't know them and don't care about them. People don't realize what happens. So if I were your genie and wanted to grant your greatest desire, you know what? I'm actually going to reach out to somebody. I'm going to reach out to somebody, see if he is available, but I guess not. Guess I got to be following them, huh? Where's Ash Cash page at? Somebody go over to Ash Cash, ASHCASH. Yeah. No, ASKCACH. Tell them to get over here. So we're going to give it one more minute so everyone can be notified that I am on. Hopefully that those who are on Instagram is being notified. I feel like I'm in social media prison. My views are going down, but it doesn't matter. I do it it's like reading a book. Everybody's not going to pick up a book and read, and everybody's not going to listen to great Zach Tate and get their life changed. So it's okay. I understand. So tonight we're going to go for a half an hour or an entire hour. I present to you an education on money. I found that in my own life that money created a value that separated me from everyone else around me. And I like attention. I like to be respected. I like to be feared. I like people to fall in line because they felt that they would get ahead better or feel better or whatever if they were associated with me. So this is who I was as a young person. I watched my father make millions of dollars, and when my dad was making millions of dollars, he commanded a certain level of respect and attention. So growing up, I said, I'm going to outdo him. And I wanted to make money for all the wrong reasons. Had someone really sat me down in those years like I've been sat down in this year, my whole entire life would have been different. Because when we look at money, what are we looking at? When I say, what is money? What comes in, pops into your head? Well, let me give you a few things. Money is currency. Money is a tool used to barter and trade. Money is leverage. People, especially in relationships, when one spouse is dependent on the other spouse for money. Money is power. Some people have it and they utilize it and they lord over other people who don't have it. Money gives you status. You drive a certain things. You advertise to everybody everywhere that you have it, and you get the hatred, the applause, and women drop their drawers a little faster when you got some money, because money equates to success. Success equates to someone's life and circumstances being able to change. Money presents security. Man, I don't have to worry about bills. I don't have to worry about my future. I don't have to worry about my health care, my retirement, my insurance. I don't have to worry. Security. Money, for me, the proper definition is freedom. The more money you have, the more opportunity and options you have. The more, let me say this one more time. The more money that you have is the more options you have. If I had to give advice like I do in this book right here, if you're going to have any label associated with money, let it be that money is freedom. Money, depending on how much you have the ability to say, you know what, in 2 months, I'm going to spend 6 months. I don't know how long on a passport. It's probably 90 days. I'm going to spend 90 days in Kakistan. Why Kakistan, Zach? Because I can in Kakistan. Because I got the money to do so. I was just on the phone. What prompted me to do this was that I was on the phone with the richest man that I know. Big music exec, whole lot of money. And we were talking about how certain people, specifically rappers, that when they make some money, how come they don't realize they're supposed to use that to go international? How come they don't know, let me go into Latin America, go around, get my name around. If I link with one Latin American artist, it opens up the door to a whole Latin culture. If I have this money, how come I'm not getting on a plane and going to Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya, Johannesburg? Why am I not traveling Egypt, Ethiopia? Why am I not traveling to different continents to not only express my art and my talent and my music, but to link with people in these other nations that have conversations like Saudi Arabia and Qatar or Dubai, where their conversations is $100 million conversations. And due to your notoriety, your stardom, your star power, you go to these countries to make an impression, to be in a company of people who not gonna hate on you. You in the company of people who are worth billions of dollars, was born worth $10 billion, and they blacker than you. You go to these countries where you see economic, social, and even emotional security and investments. And we were talking about French Montana, who is Moroccan, so he comes with a different culture from the beginning. But now, it is reported his fiancée is the princess of Dubai. Her father is worth multi-billions. So if he plays his cards right, do right by this woman, he marries into wealth. Which reminds me, let me educate you on the only way, 5 ways, only way you can get rich. Only way is 1, you can steal it. 2, you can earn it. 3, you can win it, lottery and such. 4, you can marry into it. 5, inheritance. Only ways that you can make money on the planet Earth. 5, no other ways. Anything else you name is going to fit into one of those 5. If you missed it, play this back, get the education, because today you're going to school about some money. So let's first delve into what is life when you have no money. You are labeled poor. For those of us who came up and grew up poor, it means that we were lacking resources. Like I preach in my book, like I teach in my workshops, poverty is a state of existence of lacking resources. It is not just financial resources. It's also spiritual resources, academic resources, community resources, the ability to commune and see each other as one. It's poor. The social resources, sexual resources like sex education, prophylactics, teaching children how to abstain and why and the joys of it and things of that nature. So it's no emotional resources, spiritual resources, mental resources, academic resources, financial resources, communal resources. So it's so many psychological resources that's missing that makes you poor. It's not just that you don't have money. It's way deeper than that. So poor people behave poorly. They think poorly. They get the scraps of everybody else's that are wealthy. They get the scraps of the books that are formed to educate them, to make them workers, to make them go get jobs, just over broke. They get the scraps of social resources, municipal resources, fire department, police department, ambulance. They don't respect you. They come in, the police come, start hitting you in the face, and you ain't did nothing for no reason because you have no resources to fight back and hold them accountable. You get the scraps of the clothing, the education, even the landlords give you the scraps, turn on the heat later in November and cut it off as soon as April hit. And they play these games and you lack these resources, and these poor people grow with these poor, remember poor, lacking resources mentality. They say foolish things like, you gotta hate white people. Or like this book, We the Blacks talk about, racism was created by rich white men to convince extremely poor white men that you are right. As long as you're not a slave, you're rich. lied to them, hoodwinked them, made them believe that they were something they were not. But as long as they were not black, and they created this dynamic of division where these poor whites who lacked the resources found content in their hatred, held on to their hatred, saluted and dedicated a culture of hatred so that they didn't turn to the elite and murder him for his. So poor people who behave poorly rush out. It's amazing how people who were severely poor get some money, will invest $100,000 on a chain to advertise to the world that they are rich and go sleep on a $500 mattress. Have no health insurance whatsoever. You see, when your mind lack the resources, you don't know. Because when you know better, you do better. So you have to ask yourself, whoever's watching this, all three of you, you have to ask yourself, did I grow up with a poor mentality? Let me tell you another story. I have a person, trust fund baby, that I know. This trust fund baby is afraid of wealth, afraid of having survivor's remorse without even knowing what it feels like. You a trust fund baby. That means you're secure. And yet, you have a lack of resource mentality. Poor. So when I say poor, I don't need you to go into the images that the media has given you, that it has to be black, it has to be Latin, it has to be in the hood, it has to be New York or the slums. When I say poor, there's people in Iowa surrounded by fields who are poor. It's people in upstate New York that depend on a prison to give them a job of menial wages. That's poor. They lack the resources. Here's somebody else that's poor. There's a rapper who is worth close to $1 billion, but cannot have a sufficient mate by his side, who cannot choose. His mate selection is shot. He cannot have a family. He cannot have love. He cannot be embraced because he just trolls people because of this, the anger and the lack of contentment inside. He spews it outside on social media. He tears people down. As a matter of fact, his career was springboarded from tearing someone else's career down. Some people are so poor that all they have is money. Billionaires who are objectified. Let's talk about that for a minute, because this hits home for me for different reasons. Objectified. So you get money, and when you make money and you become so-called successful, so much so that you were so passionate about an idea that or fulfill the need or solve the problem that it took off, that the resources came to you to push your product, and it took off so much that you make a couple of $1 billion. You now are the guy or the woman who everybody expects you to finance their life. Everybody expects you to pay the tab. and they go to dinner with you and abuse it. You have one relationship after another relationship after another relationship where you have to cut people off because everybody's around you with a long-term agenda. Now, I'm a hanger. I'm going to get in good graces. I'm going to make myself valuable, and I'm going to steal. He got it. Don't matter. Take advantage of. It's all right. He rich. Abuse. That's my brother. I'm not going to work. Why should I have to work if my brother's a billionaire? You ain't did shit to earn $1. Your brother was up on them sleepless nights while y'all was snoring and playing around. When you was partying, he was working. When you was sleeping, he was working. When you was working, he was working. And now that it all paid off, you sitting around as a sibling saying, they don't do nothing for me. Why you don't get off your ass, sit down? Matter of fact, I don't even want you to sit down. I want you to do like the Africans and lay down on your stomach and ask your brother, how may I be of service to you? Can you teach me to do what you do without animosity and hatred? That way you can go get your own fishing pole and go dump it in the ocean and feed yourself. You are so close to the opportunities, but you objectify this person so much, you parasite, that you just gonna sit back and wait for a check or a handout, or the industry is what I call it, the industry of paid friends. Oh, he getting money. Let me get up next to him. And yo, man, you think you can put me on your payroll? Hook a brother up. Or this kind of language or begging nonsense. And then run around showing the world that you all that because you just lap dancing the next man. That's what happens when you make money and you get objectified. God forbid you get objectified to the point where you say, this is my sister and my brother. I'm going to buy them a house, buy them a car, or let them live with me. And now they have been elevated and don't know how to maintain it because they never been there before. Now you got 4 mortgages and you got adult dependents. You sure you want some money? Your woman's ego, you got her on allowance. There's $1,000 a week for you. Here's your allowance. Take care of what you got to take. And then she gets dressed up. You reward her with the new Cadillac Escalade, and all she want to do is go get the attention of other men. You know why? Because the man who's about his business is busy. It's busyness. So if a man is making a bunch of money and a man is about his business, he's not going to have time for his woman every day. He don't have time to be going on places. Vacations will be magnificent. But don't ask him to be there every day. Don't ask him to give you time every day. So what do these women, these kept women, these gold diggers, these opportunists, what do these women do? They sit at home. They go get the little furry dog that they drive in the lap of their Lamborghini truck in. I live here. I see them right outside. I go outside right now, get in my car, the next corner, one of them is going to go by, but they don't really come out in the dark. They usually come out in the light. They use the shiny things that the man has purchased for them, seeking the attention of other men. Do you really want to be objectified? This is the downside. And even in those actions, I will tell these billionaires who finance those women that they lack the resources of mate selection. Poor. You're a billionaire, but you are poor socially. You're a billionaire, but you are poor in mate selection. You're a billionaire, but you are poor in romance, affection, attention, and effective relationship communication. So when I start talking about poor, the opposite of what you think is rich? Well, let's talk about being rich. What does that mean? It's the antithesis of being poor, rich. Oh, he's rich. Because, newsflash, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. See, let me help you. We're gonna tell a quick story, right? You got Levi, who is rich. And you have Tyrone, who is wealthy. So Levi has a skill where he knew how to be an opportunist, and he surrounded himself with people who were already where he was trying to go financially. He humbled himself. He made himself of service. He got in their good graces. He went to the same gym, met the guy with the Lamborghini, started talking to him, actually kissed his ass. The guy with the Lamborghini took him to an outing. At that event, he met other guys with Lamborghinis, made himself a service, talked a little talk, made himself valuable to somebody, and they put him on to an opportunity. Hey, what you do? I do this. What you do with your money? You ever heard of option trading? No, I didn't. Okay, let me tell you what this is. You do this, boom, 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 boom. Now, how I do that? Well, how much money you got? Well, I got $5,000. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. Give the $5,000. His friend turned the $5,000 into $50,000. Levi takes the $50,000. He invests in a business that another guy told him, hey, man, what do? I make hangers. Hangers? Yeah, I make hangers and I sell them to hotels. What? Yeah, how much you make last year? I made $6 million. Oh, $6 million. Wow. Off of hangers? Yeah, everybody use hangers. Damn, I didn't think of that. Wow. Yo, how can I get into the hanger business? I'll tell you what. You go to different hotels, find out what hangers they do. Here's a brochure, convince them to buy hangers, and I'll give you a cut. Oh, Levi has a new job. He runs around all day. People say yes. People find out who he's associated with. They say yes. They like the car. They like the appearance. They like the nice clothes and shiny, shiny things. And long story short, 5 years later, Levi's worth a couple of million. He's rich. Now, Levi makes $2 million a year. But his house, his cars, furniture, credit cards, travel expenses, he pays out $2.5 million in bills a year. I'm describing your average music entertainer, your average comedian, your average athlete, your average talent, entertainment-based income. They go out and buy a bunch of stuff that they think is the money's gonna keep coming forever. I just made $50,000 a day. This will never stop. That's rich. Now, I'll tell you about Tyrone. Tyrone makes $30,000 a month. $30,000. That's my goal, by the way. Anybody want to help me with that goal? I'm all ears. $360,000 a year profit. Almost gross income. Or is that net? No, gross income, right? I'm waiting for the day that on my tax return, it says that I earn $360,000, a little under $1,000 a day. So with $30,000 a month, that's what Tyrone makes. Tyrone lives in a modest suburb of Texas. His house has 5 bedrooms. He has 3 children. He has a wife. His mortgage is $3,792 a month. In total, with his car notes, his mortgage, his health insurance, he roughly has $6,000 a month in expenses. Lives in a gated community. $30,000 a month. Stay with me. $6,000 a month in expenses. Lives in a gated community. Drives a nice foreign car. His wife drives a nice SUV, and he has what we call an old school, where he took a car, refurbished it, and that car, it's his dream that he takes out on every other Sunday. His debt to income ratio is that he has 2% debt of his overall income. So out of that $30,000 a month, his outside debt, not just the $6,000. So let's say Tyrone spends $7,000 to $8,000 a month. The other $22,000 a month, he invested in an annuity. He has a life insurance plan that gives him dividends. He reinvests those dividends, has the ability to draw down off the dividends tax-free. Not only does he do that, but he has a rental income. He has rental properties, and off those rental properties, right, he doesn't spend money on them. He makes money off of those rental properties, and he writes off his taxes. His house, his cars, house is in one LLC, cars is in another LLC, lifestyle is in another LLC. 3 different businesses, and his 4th business is what brings in the majority of the income every month. So he has demonstrated to the IRS that his personal pockets, he only makes $1,000 a week. But his businesses and all his interests makes $30,000 a month. Levi makes $2 million a year. Tyrone makes $360,000 a year. Tyrone has wealth. He doesn't have the pressure of debt. His health insurance is secure. He has long-term investments. He has life insurance that he gets and utilizes as an annuity, gets dividends, all that down. He created a family trust. He is happy, he is healthy, and he lives below his means. That man is wealthy. He is also teaching his children, not through preaching, not through talking, leading by example. His watch is an Apple Watch. Why? Because it's the only watch on the market that helps him make more money. Patek Philippe don't help you make money. Rolex don't help you make money. Richard Mille don't help you make money. These are trinkets to impress people you don't know and who don't care about you. Because in my community, I see the rabbi. His security got a gun that's almost tall as me. Loaded. These guys don't even own cars, man. They get driven. House, modest. Well secure. Security all over. Fortified. Investments all day long. Conversations. Summit as a culture. That's my next part where I'm going to start pissing some people off. As a culture, They wear the same black suit and the same white shirt. They don't step outside of that till they're in their household. They don't have to spend any time trying to figure out every day what they're going to wear. They have freed up thousands of hours in their lifetime. So they don't have to be concerned about going to purchase clothes. They don't have to be concerned about what they're going to do to put their clothes together. Every time you see Rabbi Levine, it's the same outfit. Not only him, but his entire community. Think, people. Saudi princes, caliphs, kings, same outfit. All white, button up to the top. All white. I don't know the name of it, but I like it. As soon as I make some real money, I'm going to buy one. All the way button to the top, all the way down, with the thing turned, hanging from their head. You walk into a room, they all got the same clothes on. They ain't got to think about how to shop, where to shop. It ain't that this outfit costs $10,000 and that guy's outfit costs $200. It's the same outfit. No diamonds on their fingers. Cultural wealth. They're not discussing people. They're not discussing events. They're discussing ideas. They're sitting around solving problems. What product can we create that will solve this problem? Okay, let's all put $100,000 in the pot to create this product and market it to people that will solve this problem. As a culture, they're meeting up. The Muslim community, clothes, they're not out shopping. They're not out running around deciding what to wear. They don't have to wake up and that's one less thought. I know what I'm putting on. Same thing I'm putting on for the rest of my life. Put it on, walk out, sit back. It's what they do all day. Sit back and talk about how to invest and create wealth in their culture versus the whole small segment of society who's running around wanting to be rich. I hope by now you have figured out the difference. I hope by now you have figured out where you fit in. So now let's bring it back to personal finance. Tonight, I want to talk to people who penny pinch their spirit, who refuse to attract wealth because of fear. The fear of just dedicating a little time. You have the fear of dedicating a little time. I had a conversation today, my lady, about 100 days. Do you realize we are more than 100 days into the new year? Yeah, remember when you was, Happy New Year? Yeah, 100 days went by. So how do you be intentional about the next 100 days? That's what we were talking about. If you are intentional financially, number one thing for this one culture I hope this reaches is that if you stop spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people that you don't know and who don't give a fuck about you for 100 days. I hope my loved ones hold me accountable and say to me, baby, for the next 100 days, you can't buy no sneakers. You can't buy no clothes. Every time you want to buy a pair of sneakers, go into your Coinbase app and throw $100 at the market. Throw $100 at an exchange fund. Throw $100 on my phone. Make a March Madness. Well, that's over. Let me see what's coming next. I don't watch sports, so this is the worst analogy, but make a $100 bet on something where the odds is astronomical instead of buying a pair of sneakers. The odds are 98 to 1. And you spent 100 and you walked away with 10,000. I don't know. But if you are intentional about your money, if you, like me, said, you know what, I'm going to cut off this $9 Starbucks habit that I had every day. Starbucks. And now, only weekends. Or not at all. If we say we're going to be intentional, if the first 100 days has gone by, and I'm going to be intentional for the next 100 days, where I don't spend money I don't have on things I don't need or to impress people I know. Just for 100 days, a third of the year, you decided to demonstrate some financial discipline. It's the weekend. Oh, let's go. Spend $200 on drinks alone when you could have spent $50 on a bottle, invited a couple people over, y'all had some drinks, got drunk, laughed, and had a great old time. But no. In my case, go sit on a beach at night with a bottle and just have good company and just enjoy myself. Or what? How about this? No bottle. Why don't we just do it sober? Why don't we eat sandwiches at home for the next 100 days? If we are intentional, if we are interested, and you go back and listen to the difference between rich and wealth, and you go back and you study the words that I'm saying, and you say to yourself, damn, I've been tricked to be poor. I've been tricked to think poor. I've been tricked to believing I can't buy something of value that I'm going to enjoy for myself. Why do you go to work every day? Why do you go to work every day? Why do you go to work every day? What do you buy yourself for yourself that greatly improves your life because you bought this, or greatly improves your mood? Why do you go to work every day? What is your plan? What is your agenda? What is your short-term plan? What is your long-term plan? How much you saved? Can you put $1 a day away and at the end of the year take $400 and go to Charles Schwab and say, here, I'm going to put this $400 on an S&P 500? Can you do that? Can you study YouTube for 100 days on how to invest money, what to do with money, to overcome your fear of having, making, or keeping money? Are there lands that you have never been to that you could stop wasting money? I went 2 years one time. This was 2014 to 16. I said, I'm not buying no clothes. I got drawers full of drawers. I got drawers full of socks. I got drawers full of shirts. I got everything I need to go everywhere. I got enough shoes. For the next 24 months, I'm not buying any clothes or fabric. And I did it. Discipline. Financial discipline. Get rid of the case of the fuck it's. Do not fall to the fuck it's. That's what this book's tell you, a whole chapter on it. Where you see, you pull out the credit card. I know this life well. I'm an expert. I get tingly all over when I swipe that card. You pull out the card, you know you're not supposed to get this thing, and you say, fuck it. I'm going to make this money back. Fuck it. It's going to come from somewhere. Fuck it. The Lord provides. And you just spending and spending what you don't need to spend. Some of you are just sitting there worried, what am I going to do in 10 years? In 10 years, what you need to do in 10 months to make sure that in 10 years you're good. This is the mindset of money. Let me tell you another thing about a cultural phenomenon, what I hate is a strong word, and I'm using it strongly. What I hate about being black with black people is why all our businesses gotta have the face of somebody else. How come everywhere? You mean to tell me you can't open a black bodega? I did my best when I was 19 years old, 20 years old, to have the most influence on a bodega so that I can open my own when I was ready. You mean to tell me that nasty, dirty Chinese restaurant, you can't buy a stove, a storefront, fry some chicken and fish and pork chops and serve that? People eat anything. They line up at 7-Eleven for lunch and breakfast. You can't fry some eggs in the morning and have a business doing that? Everywhere I go, I can't find black restaurants. I can't find a black cleaners. Yeah. The banks hold us back. Facts. Yes, other cultures has come to this country and demonstrated they'll pay off a loan. Yes, the government gives foreigners more aid. Yes, than blacks. But so what? We know that already. If we just say, I'm going to sacrifice my life, I'm going to move to a state where real estate is cheaper. I'm going to move to a state where the cost of living is better, because there ain't nothing in the hood for you. If you pick up and move, ain't nobody going to care. They're going to forget about you in a month. So you mean to tell me we could party, bullshit? We don't even, I was just telling my lady this too, like we don't even own a liquor store. We consume so much alcohol, but we don't have an alcohol brand that we could say Uncle Nearest is the closest we gonna get, where we could say that's black owned, black run. Let me drink that. All these other Cirocs and the this and the that, those are just licensing agreements. Jay-Z with the Ace of Spades. It's not sole ownership. The things we love to do, we don't invest in to make more money. If I drink a case of wine, a month, how hard is it to contact a distillery or a vineyard and say, hey, I run through a case. Can I have a signature private case? Or what's the cost for 10 cases? How do I put my label on it? What legal regulations do I have to follow? What licenses do I need to sell this to people that I know and like and drinks the way I drink? If I'm going to be consuming all these products, why am I not selling some products? Need a hat? Come see Zach. Need a shirt? Come see Zach. Need a hoodie? Come see Zach. You need a big ass bag to pack up your boyfriend or all your clothes or your soccer or whatever? Come see Zach. It is my desire to reach the point where everything from head to toe, my label, my name is on it. Because quite frankly, if I shop wholesale and buy t-shirts by the dozen and do like my Jewish brothers do or my Muslim brothers do or my Saudi brothers do, where we wear the same thing every day, man, I'm saving so much more money that's coming back to me. And if somebody say, hey, I like that symbol, what does it mean? It means the power of God. Oh, let me order one of those too. 2 sales from 2 shirts pay for my entire dozen shirts wardrobe that get me through the whole year. Why you can't think like that? One more story, speaking of that. So I know this girl, I'm not going to put the name of her page, but I know her very well and intimately. She grew up in the Bronx, comes to Florida. Internet starts booming, social media starts booming. She's a pretty girl. She's not drop dead super gorgeous. Well, now with the surgery, she's like a 12. So she come from the Bronx. She starts getting dressed and she starts taking pictures of what she wears. Women start asking her, where you get that from? 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 Instead of her taking trips to Dubai, the Caribbean, all resorts, this girl took a trip to China. This is my desire. Took a trip to China. Spent a week looking at all the different manufacturers and started ordering nice little outfits that women are going to an event, they can put the jacket and the pants on. Pants has elastic in it, different sizes, and she starts getting it where it's made to order. You order it, she got it, all the sizes. This girl pulls in about $3 million a year. I don't know the exact number because I can't count her money. And I don't count people's money. I just know that I was in love with the Rolls-Royce Spectra, electronic Rolls-Royce. Some of them run $500,000. And I see her in her white on white Spectra. And she live in the gated community, this big ass house. Now, if she can start from just taking pictures of what she wears and people asking, where you get that bag from? Where you get this from? And she marketed herself. She goes to Chanel and buys the entire Chanel store damn near of what they offering, puts it online, look at my new Chanel bag, blah, blah, gets back online, I'm tired of my Chanel bag. Recycles her entire wardrobe. My point is, there's stuff that you're passionate about. There's stuff that you can do to get to the money. Be like Tyrone. Be wealthy. He only makes $360,000 a year, but he's happy. That's wealth. He's healthy. That's wealth. He's educated. That's wealth. He has a great mate. That's wealth. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Don't be like Levi, who's just rich. Makes $2 million a year, spends $2 million a year. He got the best cars that cost $1,500 for a gas cap. Sure, he's rich. Sure, he got the diamond chain. Sure, he got the new Patek Philippe. Sure, he's got Balenciaga written all over him. Sure, he goes to the greatest places to vacation, Monaco. But if he has a financial emergency, he's stuck because he thinks poorly. I'm Zach Tate. I could go on and on about this. At some point, I would like to really snap black, poor, underclass into the reality of how much wealth. And let me leave this, right? When I was in college for a very long time, I used to teach people the value of space. The value of space is a concept where I would tell them the same exact space of your projects is the same exact space they sell in New York for $1 million. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, small closet, in a high rise with a view. They used to think I was crazy. I was trying to teach them the difference between the mentality of a ghetto versus living in an urban lifestyle. So gentrification takes off like the year 2000. Gentrification takes off where the same space they grew up in, people are spending $1 million to live in the same space. They came in at the same building, cleaned the same building up, cleaned the same 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, cleaned it up, named it a condominium. And people spend $1 million for the same space. The difference is the mentality of the people. occupying those spaces. One of them felt victim to the project of their brain that they were poor and would lack resources forever, waiting for the white knight to come save them. The other seen value in an investment, knowing that if I'm paying $1 million in 2010, by 2020, this might be worth $3 million, because you can't make more land. I'm Great Zach Tate. This is the Great Zach Tate Show. I want to thank all three of you for tuning in. I'm going to YouTube from now on, and I'll still be here live. So look for more content. Gangsta Guru on the YouTube and Great Zach Tate on the YouTube. Have a good night. God bless you all.